I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I'm just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place at the right time. I am just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting the message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here.
Oh, yeah. All right.
I'm in the right place, right time, just where I'm supposed to be. I'm in the right place, right time, just where I'm supposed to be. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. Oh, my soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. I am getting a message loud and clear. My soul is welcome here. 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 My soul is welcome here.
Welcome here.
My soul is welcome here.
Welcome here.
My soul is welcome here.
Welcome here.
My soul is welcome here.
Welcome here.
My soul is welcome here.
And as we hear the resonance of the bell, we align our souls and our spirits with this sound, with this energy that takes us inward as we join together in prayer. So, dear loving Father, Mother God, as we come together this morning in spiritual community, we give thanks for your presence that is here within us and all around us. We affirm that we are immersed in your divine presence. And we know that presence is illuminating our minds and opening our hearts and bringing us into more clarity of the sacred abundance in which we live. We know that every breath we take, every thought we think, every action we take, every word we speak is empowered and influenced by the divine within us. And when we are connected to that presence, our lives flow with more grace, with more ease, with more joy, with more peace. So today, as we begin this new series on sacred abundance, we know that we have all that we need right here and right now. And as we align our minds with God's mind, we experience more good, more of the blessings, knowing that it is the Father's good pleasure to give us the kingdom. So we go forward today, opening our minds and hearts, stepping into a greater expression of love, and praying this all in the name and in the nature of the indwelling Christ presence. And so it is. Amen. And happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Welcome to Unity of Jupiter. We are an out-of-this-world, down-to-earth spiritual community, creating heaven on earth. As above, so below. We're glad that you're all here with us. We want to welcome anybody who's joining us online this morning. Thank you for being with us. And we are here this morning to celebrate God, to become more aware of that one power and that one presence, God the good that is within us and all around us. And we want, are there any new people with us this morning? Okay, well, welcome back, everybody. And if anybody's new online, we welcome you, and we want everyone to know that no matter your background, your race, your sexual orientation, your lifestyle, that you're welcome to celebrate God with us here at Unity, because unity and God leave no one out. So thank you for being with us today. And we have our statement of truth. Let's say that together. There is only one presence and one power active in my life and in the universe, God the good, omnipotent. And our affirmation for today: I place God first in all things. God is my foundation. And let's just breathe into that a little deeper. And let's say it once more. I place God first in all things. God is my foundation. How's that feel? How's that truth resonate in you today? All right. And if you have one of these devices, we invite you to take it out at this time and to post on your social media. First things first, and then you can send that out to the world and silence your cell phone, and we'll be all set. And I know that sometimes people who are on my favorites list, like my daughter, somehow her messages still get through when I silence it. Yeah, because she's on my favorite. So you have to turn the volume down too, and that's the only way.
Well, if they're on your favorites list, they're going to come through regardless.
Well, I think if you turn the volume down, it cancels the. Yeah. We'll see.
We'll see.
That's what happened during meditation this morning.
Yeah,
right. My daughter texted me. Anyway, living in this modern world, right? Okay, so we're going to move into our congregational song, which is Open the Eyes of My Heart. I like doing this song at least once a month because it's really a wonderful celebration song. So we invite you to stand and sing with us as we, let me, hold on 1 second there, Leslie. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. To see us high and lifted up, shining in the light of your glory. Pour out your power of love as we sing, holy, holy, holy. 'Cause we are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are whole. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are whole. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. So women, keep singing that part. Open the eyes of my heart, Lord. Open the eyes of my heart. I want to see you. I want to see you. Men, sing with me. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy. One more time. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are holy, holy, holy. We are whole. Very nice. And we're going to move into our ritual of friendship where we get some energy going and we share it around the room as we sing, I am the light of God. 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 You are the light. Tell somebody. You are the light of God. You are the light of God. You are the light of God. We are the light. Hands in the air if you dare. We are the light of God. We are the light of God. We are the light of God. And I am the light. Take it inside. I am the light of God. I am the light of God. I am the light of God. And so it is. Please be seated.
Good morning, everybody. Mic on. Test, 1, 2, 1, 2. Hello. Oh, much better. Good morning, everybody. We're so glad you have joined us today. Our daily word for today is imagination. We affirm, I imagine limitless possibilities. In childhood, my imagination helped me see fascinating shapes and wondrous creatures in cloud formations. Picking up a twig, I might have pretended I held a wand that could give me magical powers. An ordinary packing box could become a vessel to sail on or under the seas, an aircraft to fly higher than mountains, or even a spaceship I could fly to explore the stars. Much more than whimsy, imagination is a potent spiritual tool. I use my imagination with intention to give shape to my dreams and goals. Although my childhood may be a memory, I am grateful that I can still use my imagination to create the life of my dreams as I envision possibilities beyond the reality I know and the world I see. And our Bible verse for today is from Luke 10:24. For I tell you that many prophets and kings desired to see what you see, but did not see it, and to hear what you hear, but did not hear it. We are no longer requiring registration to attend Sunday service. We are still following COVID protocols. Seating is limited and on a first-come, first-served basis. We also have installed outdoor speakers so people can sit outside and listen to the service. Please bring your own chairs if you choose to sit outside. Our new Sunday service schedule began today, as you all know. Every Sunday there will be 9 to 9:30 a.m. meditation service. I attended it. It was wonderful. I highly recommend it. Then our Sunday service, celebration service begins at 10:30, of course. After service, Reverend Bodhi will be teaching spiritual enrichment classes from 12:15 to 1:30. Our first class is Unity Basics, New Members, and it begins today. The book for this class is The 5 Principles, available in our bookstore, and you can sign up for the class in the lobby. On April 24th, we're having a deck demolition party. Our deck is very badly rotted out. It's unsafe to stand on, so we are tearing it down. If you can contribute by way of demolition, hauling, heavy lifting, or just providing food and drink, please sign up in the lobby or check the newsletter, as there is a sign-up button there as well. And last but certainly not least, we are starting our Love in Action volunteer program. If you'd like to volunteer for the worship team, the fellowship team, facilities team, or youth and family ministries, please talk to Jane or call the office to share your talents. We really do need your help. Thank you, and God bless.
And it's now time for a moment of appreciation. And I just, last week was such an amazing experience, and it took a lot of people to make it happen. So I just want to appreciate everybody who was a part of that, the choir, the music team. Larry did a great job with the sound back there, John Denning with the video, Jane kind of covering all bases, and want to thank Charlie for her contribution, those beautiful roses, and just for all of you who showed up and just made it a very special day for us. It really felt like new life and a way to celebrate Easter in a way that I'd never done before, which was outside and here. Never did it here before. So it was just a wonderful event. So thank you all for supporting that and being part of that. All right. We're going to move into meditation. We have a new meditation song that we're going to teach you today called Raising the Veil, another beautiful song written by Daniel Nahmad. I'm raising the veil between me and my God. No separation, no distance at all. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil between me and my God. No separation, no distance at all. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil. I'm raising the veil. And as we move deeper into this time of conscious contact with the Lord of our being, I invite you to breathe a little deeper. Breathing in the pure essence of God and breathing out, letting go and letting God be God in you in this very moment. Letting go of anything that you brought with you this morning that is less than the perfection of God. Any thoughts of worry or fear or doubt or unworthiness or poverty or lack. And breathing in the peace, the love, the joy, the light, the creativity, the abundance of God. And become, again, more aware of your breath, knowing this breath as a holy and sacred breath. The sacred breath of God that is our life force, our prana. Inhaling peace, exhaling, letting go. Breathing in peace, exhaling and releasing any negativity. On your next inhale, I invite you to hold the thought, God is my source. Breathing out, hold the thought that God is blessing me now. Inhaling, God is my source. Exhaling, God is blessing me now. Feel the gentle vibration of God in your being that is nurturing you and lifting you up, healing you and transforming your life in this very moment. I am sacred abundance. I am sacred abundance. Focused on this truth, become aware of the part of you that is connected to the earth. Become aware of the energy of Mother Earth and receive the blessings that she is sending you. Blessings of nurture and nourishment. Blessings of abundance and life. And take a moment of you that is connected to the sky above, the heavens, and connect with the Divine Father, the sacred masculine, the area of creativity and consciousness. And then bring your awareness back to your heart, where both these energies meet. And feel the abundance in your life. As above, so below. I live in this space in between where I place God first in all things. God is my foundation. I am sacred abundance. Feel that sacred energy of God that's rising up in you now. Move into the realm of possibilities. All things are possible for me in God. All my thoughts are God thoughts. As I know the universe is listening. So all my thoughts are God thoughts. I am sacred abundance. So we move into the quiet and into the stillness, affirming, I am sacred abundance. And let us know that truth now in the silence. gently begin to bring our awareness back to this time and place with gratitude for having touched the stillness even for this brief moment. Feeling new life, feeling that divine sacred abundance that is available to us in every moment. Giving thanks as we sing once again together, Raising the Veil. I'm raising the veil between me and my God. No separation, no distance at all. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil. And I want to know you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. And I want to see you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. And I want to hear you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. And I want to feel you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. And I want to praise you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil. And I want to love you. Oh God, I'm raising the veil between me and my God. No separation, no distance at all. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. God is right here in my heart. I'm raising the veil. I'm raising the veil. I'm raising the veil. Happy Sunday. It was about 30 years ago that I first walked into a Unity church. And it was in Laguna Hills, California. The minister was Margie Imms. And I was on a spiritual quest. I just had this thirst to know God, and sat down in that church, had a suit on, That was a little small. Hadn't worn a suit in a while. And, but I felt home. I had this sense that I had come home. And many people I talked to in Unity, that was the words that they said when they first came into a Unity church, that my soul was home. I remember the minister said, let go and let God. In the meditation, it just had me. And so that was December of 1991. And in January of 1992, Stretton Smith from Monterey, California, had come down to promote his new class that he was teaching called the 4T Prosperity class, Tithing of Your Time, Talent, and Treasure for the Fullness of Life. And I was a newbie to spirituality, and I had no idea, but I just had that thirst. I was like a sponge. And I signed up for that class. And I think that class began in like 2 months later. And it was a 12-week prosperity class. And I didn't know anything about prosperity or spirituality or tithing or anything like that. But at that first class, I wrote the biggest check that I have ever written to a church in my life. I know that because it was the first check I had ever written to a church in my life. But it was 10% of my monthly income. And I wrote 3 of those checks because it was a 3-month-long class. And I got it. I got it in that class, the power of putting God first. The power of putting God first in every area of my life. Not just my spirituality, but my finances, my health, my relationships, whatever it is. But the money piece, that's a big one. And I've been doing that ever since. Sometimes I need to be honest about that. Sometimes it hasn't been 10%. Sometimes it may have even dipped down to 5%, where I may have forgotten how powerful it is to put God first, or I may have been mad at God, or I may have just decided that I didn't want to do it. But so in 30 years on this path, there have been times when that has waned. And I'm really glad that we are doing this series right now, because I am getting back up to 10% of tithing of my income. And so that's about putting God first in my finances. That's what a tithe is, 10%. So you can give 5%. It's not really a tithe, right? Because a tithe is 10%. But the spiritual teaching is that you want to put God first, because then you're blessed not reciprocally, but you're blessed more than you give. Right? That's the idea. Put God first, and you'll be blessed in even more ways. I'm reminded of a little teaching story that says, I would like to buy $3 worth of God, please. Not enough to explode my soul or disturb my sleep, but just enough of God to equal a cup of warm milk or a snooze in the sunshine. I don't want enough of God to make me love a black man or pick beets with a migrant. I want ecstasy, not transformation. I want the warmth of the womb, not the new birth. I want a pound of the eternal in a paper sack, please. I would like to buy $3 worth of God. First time I read that was probably over 20 years ago, and I noticed the energy of which I say it today when it has that, I don't want enough to make me love a black man or pick beets with a migrant worker, and how racially charged that is. And the world that we're living in now. Obviously it was written by a white man, but what this is speaking to is like, how much God do you want in your life? Do you want enough to make you see past race? To see that we are all equal, that we are all blessed that we're all part of God's kingdom? Do I want enough God to be able to be of service in a humble way where I don't do things just because I get credit for them, but I do things because I love my brothers and sisters? So I just, I wasn't wanting to go there with this. That isn't what this lesson is about. But I just heard myself as I was reading that this time that it kind of has a different feeling to it. That was actually shared by one of my colleagues in ministerial school. So I took this 4T class, and I had been working in property management for 10 years as a district. I was a district maintenance supervisor when I quit. I was overseeing 19,000 apartments in Southern California. And I came into 4T and I quit my job. I had been in that career for 10 years because I wanted the fullness of life. I started practicing all these principles because, first of all, I didn't want to go back to the way that I was living as an active addict and alcoholic and just being a miserable person and hating myself and hating life. Didn't want to go back to that. And I also wanted more from life. So I started practicing these principles. I quit my job. I enrolled in college. Hadn't been to college yet because I had spent 13 years at a party after high school. And went to college. And then I enrolled in the ministerial program at Unity Village. All that happened within 4 or 5 years of my stepping onto a spiritual path. And what Unity taught me was that I wanted more than $3 worth of God. Like I wanted an unlimited amount of God. And so I moved from being a tipper to a tither. A tipper is when you put $1 in the basket just to make sure you gave. A tither is giving from your abundance, is giving from that place of knowing that God is your source, and that when you trust God and you put God first in that way, that your life will change. So I applied for the ministerial program and I got accepted into it. That year, I may have said this once before, that year it's kind of a demonstration of prosperity. There were 600 people that applied to the program. 140 got a second interview, or second application. 40 of us got invited back for interviews. 26 of us got accepted into the program. And one of the 30 in my class, because there were 4 more people that entered later, received an award called the Ministerial Skills and Studies Award that came with a reimbursement of 2 years of tuition. And I received that award for my class. Didn't mean I was the best minister. It meant, I don't know, they saw something in me that they thought I deserved that. But that demonstration of prosperity, because I had struggled through school. Matter of fact, my first wife left halfway through my training and decided to move back to California. So I had to figure out how I was going to make it through my second year. And I made it through, and then they gave me back my money that I had paid for tuition, which a lot of that was gifts from ministries and other people who were supporting me in my journey. So that commitment of putting God first, in so many ways, in my vocation, in my finances, in all these ways, made a difference in my life. And then I was one of the first in my class to get a job in a church, and I started in that church in August of 1998. It's been an incredible journey, that journey of trust, that journey of really being willing to partner with God. We say God is my co-pilot, right? But then at some point you need to realize that it's time to change seats. And that's like the next step. Like God's just not your co-pilot, but God's driving. And that creates another level of trust, a level to trust the great mystery, to know that, hey, I'm not really in charge of this. You know, there's something greater going on. So all of this is about living into sacred abundance. How do we live our lives in greater abundance? And it's more than money, right? Sacred, everything is sacred, is our defense against anything that would bring us harm. So if it's sacred, it is pure, it is beneficial, it is good, it is loving. And we know the difference between something that's sacred and something that's not. So abundance is that knowing that we live in an abundant universe, that there is more than enough for all of us at all times. And so we're doing this work to move into a greater expression of sacred abundance. So how do we do that? So there's 3 G's for moving into greater sacred abundance: guidance, gratitude, and giving. And the guidance, again, is about putting God first. I've been meditating for 30 years now. I get up in the morning and I spend at least 20 minutes in meditation. That's my practice. I've done that twice so far today. I did it at home, and then we did it in our meditation this morning. That, to me, is putting God first in my spiritual life. To spend that first 10% of my day in the presence of the divine, of calling that energy in, of becoming more aware of that presence within me, so that no matter what shows up, and sometimes it can be kind of challenging, I can move through it. Sometimes with grace, sometimes with a little awkwardness. But to move through it into the truth that I'm really not in charge of any of this, and God's got me. God's got me. God's just like God has you, no matter what's going on. So that guidance that we seek is that divine wisdom that helps us in every situation. Whatever the problem is, if we go to God first, we will get the divine solution. We will get what's the next thing to do. So that's the G, guidance. There's a neat way to look at the word guidance. If you take the G that stands for God, and then the U, and then the I. So God, you, and I dance. And that's a neat way to look at the word guidance and to really bring God into the dance, and maybe even let God lead. Charles Fillmore said, the co-founder of our Unity movement, said, there are 2 ways to get understanding. One is to follow the guidance of the Spirit that dwells within. The other is to go blindly ahead and learn by hard experience. I've done a little bit about both of those things. How about you? So the first part of that is to, follow the guidance of Spirit, which means we have to connect with Spirit. The other part about guidance is what we've done already today is the meditation, and what the poster on the back says there from Psalm 46. Be still and know that I am God. To be still enough to hear that still small voice, to hear that guidance. That comes from 1 Kings, where it says, then he was told, go stand on the mountain at attention before God, and God will pass by. A hurricane wind ripped through the mountains and shredded the rocks before God, but God wasn't found in the wind. After the wind, an earthquake, but God wasn't found in the earthquake. And after the earthquake, a fire, but God wasn't in the fire. And after the fire, a gentle and quiet whisper, a still small voice. And the neat thing is, the more still we become, the louder that voice becomes. The more quiet, the deeper we can get into the silence, the clearer we can hear that. So that's guidance. And then gratitude. We all know that gratitude is the great multiplier of our good. So the idea is to be grateful for everything that we experience in our lives, no matter how small the blessing, to find a way to be grateful for it, to help multiply the good in our lives. Meister Eckhart was said, if the only prayer I ever prayed was thank you, that will suffice. And so we have to remember that gratitude always brings in more blessings into our lives, brings in that sacred abundance. Another quote from Eric Butterworth, who said, a grateful heart will always attract itself in one way or another, through human hands or through wonder-working ways, the great things needed to solve the particular situation. It is an outworking that you can stake your life on. So we move from guidance to gratitude, and the last step is giving. And, again, this is what we teach in Unity as a spiritual practice. Not like the Mormons, we're not going to send an accountant over and make sure that you're giving 10% to the church, although they have some pretty nice properties, don't they? They're not wondering how they're going to pay their electric bill. And, I know that some people tune out when you hear the word tithe. Like, I'm just not there. I'm just not ready to give that much. And it's hard when there's more month left over at the end of the money. And we have, you're struggling to pay our bills, or, in these times, it's like when there's so much, things are still shut down, and people have really struggled with their income. But these are the greatest times to test these principles. And, I love this one saying I heard recently that, principles don't have problems. Principles don't have lack. When we practice principles, the principles demonstrate themselves. So if we're willing to test it, to try it, that's what 4T gave me the opportunity to do. It's a 12-week program. I said, okay, I'm going to tithe for 12 weeks. And I ended up tithing a much, much longer time because that principle made a difference in my life. So where are you with that? Because giving is the second part of the cycle of prosperity. We receive, that's one thing, but giving completes that cycle, so we have to have an opportunity where we give. There are two lakes that are fed by the Jordan River, right? One of them is kind of nasty, and it's not a lot of life and growth there. It's called the Dead Sea, right? Because it doesn't have an outlet. It only has an inlet. And the other one is the Sea of Galilee, which is full of life. And it has an outlet. The water comes in and the water goes out. So we have to have that same thing in our lives. We have to create that flow of giving and receiving so that we can be in that cycle of abundance. So there's a paradox in giving. And we know what that is. It's that if there's something that we desire, we must find a way to give to it. It's like if you want more love, you have to give more love to experience it. If you want more forgiveness, you have to practice forgiveness to experience it. So these are the truths that help us to step into a greater experience of sacred abundance. So, I'll tell you a little story I heard this week. A friend of mine's a financial planner. He has his own business. He does really well. And he had a client he was telling me about who was ready to retire, and his stock was doing well, and he had a whole bunch of money, and then the stock dipped down and took about 2/3 of his income, of his savings. And he was really worried about it. And then my friend hadn't heard from him for a while, and he talked to him again recently, and he was ready to do something with his money. And my friend asked him, well, so how's your stock doing? Oh, it came up. It's better than it was before. So he got all his money back. And his stock was in ticket sales in a company that owns some of these online ticket company agencies. So what's happening right now, the narrative that's being told in the financial world, is that the roaring 20s are possibly coming back. And isn't that interesting? 100 years ago, what happened? There was a pandemic. And when the pandemic went away, people were so longing to get out and socialize and go on trips and spend their money and have some fun. And we are in that same cycle 100 years later. There are other things that were happening. There's prohibition against alcohol. Prohibition against marijuana is just at its end about now, right? So there's some mirrors to some of the things that are happening in the world. And they're saying that as soon as this thing gets a little better, through the vaccines and whatever else is happening, that things are going to happen again. So that's why I wanted to teach this. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to teach this series right now, because we need to be practicing spiritual principles so that we can move into this experience of prosperity and celebration again and not miss the boat, right? So I'm looking forward, because people are going to come back to church. They're going to come back to social situations. They're going to go to concerts. They're going to be taking trips, and they're selling tickets. That's why this guy's stock went up, because we're anticipating that right now. And it's not the only example, but it's a good one, isn't it? What else are people longing to do? Buy some stock in that too, whatever it is. So these are the principles that help us again to experience sacred abundance, and it's more than just our bank accounts. It is about our health. It is about our relationships, about harmony, about creativity, about all these things where there's more of the presence of God in our lives. So I put God first in all areas of my life. When I first heard that, it was in a 12-step meeting, or I saw it on the wall or something, and it said, first things first. And I was like, yeah? What's your point? I mean, you can't put second things first. But the idea in recovery is just do what's in front of you. Do the next indicated thing. What we're talking about is putting God first in everything. And as we do that, God shows up, the divine shows up, that sacred energy shows up in our lives, and we are blessed. So let's take a moment to know this inwardly. As we breathe, dear loving Father, Mother God, and give thanks for your presence and your activity and your spirit and your love and the abundance of all good things in our lives right now and in the world. We commit this day to putting you first in every area of our lives that matter, in our finances, in our health, in our relationships, in our creativity. We affirm that as we partner with you and hand over the wheel to you, that we are guided into a greater expression of abundant prosperity in all good things. We do this as we align our minds, our thoughts, our lives with the divine ideas that are ever flowing in and through us. And we give thanks and pray this in the name and in the abundant nature of the indwelling Christ presence. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Bodhi.
You're welcome.
Now it's our turn to give back. You can donate through our webpage or text your amount to 561-531-5490. You can also scan the QR code or drop it off in the box on your way out. In keeping our time of giving sacred, I would like you to now take your gift in your hand and bless it. You are planting the seeds to your own prosperity and at the same time giving back to God from the abundance that has already been provided for you. Breathe life into your gift and thank God that you have this gift to give. Now affirm with me the offertory blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive.
I just want to mention a few weeks ago, someone suggested that if we didn't need our stimulus check, that we would give it to the church. And I just want to pass that idea out there as a divine idea. And today I'm writing a check for 10% of the stimulus check that I got. And adding that, there's many ways to give that bless us and bless the ministry too. And one is to give off of your unexpected income. So when you get money that you weren't expecting, that's like easy money to give from. Again, giving from that place of abundance, not from lack. And if we just did that, it would be a different experience for us. There's also ways to give through legacy giving, including the ministry in your will, and also underwriting. If you want to underwrite part of the ministry, pay the electric bill, or things like that. So there are many ways that speak to us in different ways of the ways that we want to give, always knowing that you're giving to the source of your spirit. So that's the whole idea with tithing, is giving back to the source of your spiritual nourishment. So let's take a moment to turn within and bless these gifts. Thank you, loving Father, Mother God, for the abundance that flows in and through this ministry and in and through our lives. May we also be divinely guided to use these resources in a way that continue to grow this ministry and serve everyone that comes through these doors and all the lives that we touch through our online presentation and through you as you go out into the world. So we give thanks for each and every one of you and for your gifts, knowing that you are abundantly blessed in all things as you complete that cycle of giving and receiving and becoming more prosperous as you do so. We take a moment to bring our children into our prayers, holding the space for this ministry to soon have a youth and family ministry once more, where our children will be blessed by our principals and by this community. We open our hearts a little bit more to include all the children of the world, blessing them knowing that they are provided for and protected and safe and blessed during these times. And we also bring into our minds everyone on our prayer list here at Unity of Jupiter. We give thanks and pray all of this in the name and in the nature of the indwelling divine essence. And so it is. Amen. With that, Carl is going to lead us in singing the peace song. And before we do that, just remember that there will be a class. I'm trying to figure out this schedule, and today is the first day of the new schedule. Meditation from 9 to 9:30, this from 10:30 to 11:30, and then the class from 12:15 to 1:30. I was thinking give it a little bit of time to get something to eat. I don't know if it's enough time. It's enough time if you bring your lunch. And so we'll figure it out as we keep going. And now we're going to stand and sing the peace song. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. And the light, the love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And we say, yay, God. And our affirmation, I place God first in all things. God is my foundation. And so it is. God bless you. And Nancy is up here to pray with you if anybody would like prayer support. And the class, Unity Basics, will begin at 12:15. Thank you.
That's a big guitar. Like, wow. You know what? You know, it's easier.